Hi, welcome back. I'm jumping on to share a few crafty updates that I have, things I've been working on. I have a number of different things to share with you today. Some of it is paper crafting, some is crocheting, and some of it is machine quilting. So let's jump right in. I have a couple of things here that I've been working on recently for paper crafting, and I just finished up these little embellishments yesterday, and I'm going to share them with you. So these are has sort of a vintage 1960s look to it, and you can see a little sticker here of a sewing pattern image, and then I added some pearl buttons on there, and I used some antique rickrack and some quilt batting up here on the side, and a little bit of text from an old sewing book. I think it came out really cute. I'm really happy with it. I kept it fairly simple, and that's the first one there. Here's the second one. This one just has a little bit of metallic embroidery thread on it. Okay, and here is the third one. This one has a little bit of selvage from some quilting fabric, and a little satin bow with a sequin and a plastic transparent butterfly on there. So those I've been finished up. And then I'm not quite finished with it, but I'm working on this folder. It's just a simple folder. And I'm going to put some pockets on the inside. And I've stitched the cover of an old a vintage sewing pattern on the front with the zigzag stitch all the way around the edge. And then I created a fabric spine with a little bit of machine quilting on it. I'm learning how to use my my newer sewing machine that I purchased a while back, and it's been a slow process, but now that I have more time, I'm jumping in a little bit more and starting to explore all the possibilities that I have with my new sewing machine. So this is my folder, and then of course on the back you can see the back side of the pattern. So I thought that was kind of a fun touch. So there's that. Now, for these Papercraft items, I used a couple of different collections. All right, I used Jen Hadfield's Flower Child. These are some of the ephemera. Here's what comes in the pack. Okay, and these I had gotten at Joann's. They had them on clearance. As you know, Joann's is closing. So I was able to get these for very, very inexpensively. And then here is the paper pad, the smaller paper pad. So I used this paper here to cut out the little flower shapes. And then I used this text page to cut out the sentiment on this little embellishment here, happiness. Just glued that on. Okay. This is a really fun collection, and it has definitely like an early 1970s vibe to it. And then the other papers, I also picked these up on clearance at Joann's. Let me share them with you. Okay, these were 25 cents a piece on clearance, and this is from the collection by Jen Hadfield called Groovy Darlin'. And these are double-sided papers, and I did use these in my paper crafts that I just shared with you. So here's the front side. The back has little daisies on it. Okay, I bought a few of those. Okay, and then here's another kind of a flower power look. This is also from Jen Hadfield's Groovy Darlin'. A couple of those. The back is just sort of like a dot, tone-on-tone dot. A couple of those. And then this one here, also from the same collection. Front and back. Love these warm tones. They're really pretty. The yellows, the oranges, the browns. Definitely late 1960s colors. Okay. This one. And the yellow grid on the back. Okay. So those were from Joann's. Okay. So let's just move these out of the way a little bit. And I'm going to share a couple of other things. Before I continue any further, I want to share with you some of the other things that I found when I was out shopping around the other day. Now again, also in Joann's, I picked these other items up. They were half price. The store in my area, the gal that worked in there said that she thinks they'll be closing up at the end of May. So everything in the store, well, pretty much everything was marked down 50%. Some things were 70%, and then the Christmas items were 80%. But I picked up these liquid pearls and stickles. They were 50% off. And I needed a refill on these colors anyway. Some of the ones that I have are kind of getting dried out and they don't perform as well. So I picked up 2 newer packages of those. Again, those were half price. And then they did have their notions also on sale. So I picked up a small tape measure. I bought this to keep in my pocketbook because a lot of times when I'm out and I need to measure something, I don't have something to use. So this will be perfect. And then I picked up an extra seam ripper. Also, these were 50% off. Okay, and then I also found this cute, in the paper crafting area, I found this cute little die set. Okay, this is Chamel Reasons to Smile, and it's 11 pieces of die. And here they are. And I mainly bought it for this embossing, this tiny, it's like ATC card size, this little embossing plate with the cutout in the center. And then these tiny little oval frames. So that, again, that was half price. Okay, and then I did pick up an extra package. I do have some in my stash, but I picked up an extra package of the 110-pound pastel shades of cardstock. Yeah, so again, half price on that. And then the only other thing I got was over in Hobby Lobby. I've had my eye on these patriotic sprinkles for, well, since they put them on the shelf. So I popped in just to see if maybe they would be on sale this week, but they were not. And I said, you know what, I'm just going to spring for it and pay full price, $2.49, because there were only a few left on the shelf. So my strategy is, you just go back when they're on sale and pick up what you need, but I'm afraid they may be gone by the time that happens. So anyway, I paid full price for this, but $2.49 is really a drop in the bucket. So I'm glad to have gotten this for some of my my summertime patriotic themed crafting. Okay, so that is the haul. Small. I mean, I don't buy as much as I used to. I have so many things in my stash already that, I really don't need to be buying too much anymore. Okay, so that's that. Now I'd like to show you some crocheting that I've been doing. And now I've been crocheting for years and years, but on and off. I'm more of a knitter. And so I go through phases where I'll pick up crocheting for a little while and then I'll move on to something else. And so sometimes these items get put away for a number of years and then I drag them out and I'm working on them again. So a couple of years ago, I needed a refresher. So I picked up this book, Crochet, Learn It, Love It. And it has a lot of really good instructions in it on doing all the basic stitches, which I really needed a refresher on. So I picked this up and I've been using it to look up, like if I've forgotten how to do a double crochet or a half double crochet, I just look in here and I can find what I need. They also have some cute patterns of things that you can make in the back, which is fun. So this is a good book for beginners and on up into intermediate and beyond. Yeah, so I like that. But what I have in here are these cute little granny squares. And I'm just, when I have a little time, usually in the evening, I'll just sit and make 1 or 2 of these while I'm watching television. And it's just so relaxing. And the color combinations, I'm just having so much fun putting these together. Some of them are a little bigger, some a little smaller. But look at this. Isn't that pretty? And the colors are really, really fun. So I've been working on this on and off. I've got quite a few of them so far, but the yarns that I've been using, I had picked up a while back at Joann's. And these are the two that I found. Now both of these yarns, one is called Cupcake by Lion Brand, and the other is called Mandala by Lion Brand also. And the Mandala is the sparkle. So some of the yarns in the basket are a little sparkly, like that purple one there, and this pink one up here, and this blue. And those are the ones that are from the Mandala ball. And both of these came with multiple colors in the ball. So I just unwound each color, turned it into its own separate ball, and then, you know, I have all these small amounts that I can use, you know, to create the granny squares themselves. So this yarn is a little bit finer. I want to say maybe like a sport weight. So I used a smaller hook. I believe it was a size E. Don't quote me, but I think it was a size E, to create these tiny granny squares. So yeah, so this has been fun, and I'm going to continue just, you know, putting these together, and when I have enough, I'll make something out of them. I don't know what it's going to be yet, but that's okay. All right, so that is the crochet project. All right, and then the next thing I have to share with you is a quilt top that I just finished right here. Now I still need to you know, put the quilt batting in and the backing on and do the quilting, and then I have to bind it. But I was really pleased with the results on this, and I'm going to hang this one in my studio. As you can see, it's thread spools, which is, you know, obviously symbolic for sewing, and I just love these colors. I received a gift certificate for my birthday this year, and I went ahead and purchased the Tilda Sanctuary collection. I bought it as a jelly roll, and then I chose my colors from that collection to use in this quilt. It's a mini quilt, but look how pretty these fabrics are. Hold it up nice and close so you can see. There's little animals, birds and chipmunks and squirrels, little owls, lots of botanical images. This one here, it's a little owl in the middle. And the prints are so small that they're perfect for mini quilts. You know, and they don't detract too much. You can still get sort of an overall feel for the lights and the darks without there being an overpowering pattern that's too large and would be difficult to you know, to kind of see. So yeah, so I'm really pleased with this. I love the colors. These are some of my favorite colors with the blues and the greens. Yeah, so I did that. Now I used the Kim Deal Simple Whatnots quilting book for small size quilts. And this particular pattern is called Spooling Around. Okay, and here's the example in the book. It has more earth tones, sort of a more, you know, primitive look. So yeah, this was a really fun project for me, and because I'm still learning quilting, you know, I wanted to do something a little bit simpler for this particular quilt. The last quilt that I did was very challenging for me as a beginner, so I wanted to have a project for this quilt that was just a little smaller and a little simpler. So anyway, yeah, very pleased with the results on that. Okay, anything else? Oh, I forgot to share a few more sheets of paper that I got on clearance at Joann's. They were actually under the quilt, which is why I forgot to show them to you earlier. But I'll flip through them quickly now. Again, these were on clearance, 25 cents a piece. This, and from Joann's. This one is a Bow Bunny Brighton pattern with pink, brown, and blue plaid. Here's the reverse with what looks like sewing machine stitches on it, little stripes. So that's really pretty. This one is Gingham Gardens. Okay, I tend to like the ones that are more nostalgic looking, you know, the 1930s, 40s, 50s. And of course, you know, I do enjoy the primitive style as well. And then this has a tone-on-tone herringbone on the other side. This one, Vicky Booten. It says Where to Next at the top from the Where to Next collection. Right here where my thumb is. So I got several sheets of these tickets. I thought these could be cut apart and used as ephemera or in journals. So I've got plenty of those now. Just put these away in my stash. Okay, and then Flower Child by Jen Hadfield. Here's the reverse. This is kind of fun with the journaling pages on it. You can cut those apart or use the floral side. Okay, and this one, Flower Child with stripes and the pretty floral. I love this floral. Really, really cute. And another one of those. Okay, a couple of Woodland Grove. Again, 25 cents each. Can't go wrong for that. And I do have this collection in my stash, so I'm just adding some of these cut aparts. I'm not really crazy about that black marble on the back, but no, that's okay. We'll use the tags on this side for crafting with. A couple of those. And then this is a Maggie Holmes Woodland Grove ticket page. And the reverse has a tone-on-tone green grid. And let's see, just a couple left here. Paige Evans, Blooming Wild. Yeah, I have this collection as well, and I love it. It's vibrant colors, pretty pastels. And here's the large size sentiment page from Flower Child. Front and back. I love this blue print. I just love that print. Isn't that pretty? Okay, a couple of those. And that, I believe, is the end. Okay, yep, that's everything for today. I hope you enjoyed watching. I'll be back again soon with some more projects to share. Hope you have a great day.